Who are you?
Hi, my name's Andy Avery.
How long have you lived in Chester?
I first came to Chester to study in 1993, so if you're really good at maths, you might be able to work out how long I've been here. 121 take away 93 is 28 years. I've been here almost 28 years. That's quite a long time.
Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Ooh, tough question. Being too hot is never very nice, especially if you can't cool down. But then being too cold isn't good when you're shivering the whole time. I think if I had to choose, I'd probably choose too cold because I don't like it when you're so hot that you're just dripping in sweat the whole time. Shivering isn't fun when you're cold, but being soaked in sweat is really icky. So yeah, for me, I think I'd probably have to say too cold.
What is your favourite time of day?
I'm a mornings person, so definitely the morning. Probably I'd say quite early in the morning is my favourite time of day. One of the things I did a lot of during all the lockdowns we've had is getting out early for an early morning walk. I love it because there's not many people about. I've seen some beautiful sunrises. It's really nice. So yeah, I'd say my favourite time of day is probably early morning.
Which fruit or vegetable best suits your personality?
This is going to be hard to choose because there's so many fruit and vegetables. Do I go for something that's a bit exotic, unusual, or do I go for a more normal one? I spent a long time thinking about this, probably way too long just for this video. And in the end, I went through all the exciting fruits and vegetables and came back to something that I have most days, and that is a banana. And there's two reasons I went for that. Number one, if you know me, you know I'm a bit crazy, a bit mad, a bit bananas anyway, have some weird, strange ideas. But secondly, and the main reason I chose the banana, is that bananas are really good sources of energy. And I'm not someone who's very good at sitting still. I like being active. I like doing things. Like I said earlier on, I like going for long walks. I love being active. And bananas give you lots of energy. So I thought that suits me really well.
What's the best thing for you about being a Christian?
For me, the best thing about being a Christian is knowing that I've got a friend who loves me and is there for me and is there with me the whole time. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I'm at home, whether I'm at work, whether I'm enjoying some free time, whether I'm in a different country. It doesn't matter. Whether things are going really well and he wants to celebrate with me, or whether things are kind of average, that's fine, or whether things are quite hard. I know I've got a friend who I can talk to, who understands, who listens and promises to help me out. So that for me is the best thing about being a Christian.
Tell us a little bit about your favourite Bible story.
The story I've chosen as one of my favourite Bible stories involves a group of brothers, but it might not be the one you're thinking of because there's no special coat in this one. So it's a group of brothers, and it also shows us how sometimes God does things in a way that we might not do, but actually makes a lot of sense.
So what is your favourite Bible story?
My favourite Bible story is Samuel choosing the next king.
Thanks, Andy. Search for a king.
Welcome to Search for a King. Tonight we are coming live from the home of Jesse, and we are going to find out who is going to be the next King of Israel. Jesse, you must be so proud to know that one of your sons is going to be the future king. What's the atmosphere like backstage?
Oh, well, I think everyone's really up for it. The atmosphere is very tense. In fact, you could cut the air with a knife.
Oh, sounds intriguing. And of course, presiding over the job tonight, we have the one and only Samuel. So, Samuel, tell me, what are you looking for in a future king?
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's not very useful.
No, but God knows who's the one.
I see, keeping your cards close to your chest as normal. I like it. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Over to you, Jesse.
I think Samuel will be after my eldest son, Abe. I'm very proud of him.
Yes, Abe is a popular choice. No wonder Jesse's proud of him. He's due to inherit all his father's land, aren't you, Abe?
Yes.
Absolutely. Makes him a good prospect for king, let's face it. But not only that, he's found to be investing in land as well, I believe. Yes, absolutely, of course you are. He's making a nice, tidy profit, amassing a fortune. Samuel, in Abe, surely you couldn't find a better candidate for king. This contest was over at the start, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
How about my second son, Ben?
Yes, Ben here, he's wise, he's intelligent, he's got 2 science degrees, a master's, a PhD in agriculture, he's acquired a large field of knowledge, of course. In short, he knows everything about everything, the kind of person you want to be king. He will be a very wise ruler. Samuel, is he the one?
I have my doubts about him.
What about Clive, my 3rd eldest?
Yes, Clive, just look at him. He's brave, he's adventurous, he's climbed the mountains, he's swum across oceans, he's fought bears, he's bungee jumped off cliffs. This daring adventurer makes ideal royal material. Yes?
Interesting,
Brilliant, I think we might be there.
but not the one.
Oh.
What about Dan?
Well, Dan, he's incredibly talented. He can sing, he can act, he can dance, but his most popular performance is riding the unicycle, singing opera, and playing the guitar all at the same time. Take it away, Dan.
No, stop, he's not the one.
Sorry, Dan.
Well, how about Ed?
Yes, a big welcome to handsome Ed, or to many of his friends, Big Ed. A very popular choice with the ladies. Ed has fine features and physique. Look at those rippling muscles. Simply breathtaking. Samuel, if you choose him tonight, not only will he be popular leader, but he'll also be good to look at. Who writes this rubbish? Anyway, Samuel, what do you think of Big Ed?
He's very impressive.
He is.
But he's still not the one.
Well, then it has to be Frank.
So it must be the sportsman of the group. This is Frank. He's a champion sprinter. He can knock the baseball fly out of the park, and not only that, he can pole vault too, which means there's no obstacle that's too high for him to overcome. Surely, we wait a long time, we've got there. Yes?
Nope. Do you have any other sons?
I'm running out.
You must have somebody.
No. Well, okay, maybe. Yeah, well, there is David, but he's the youngest. He's just so young and just a boy.
No, bring him here.
Well, no, it can't be him. He doesn't look anything like a king.
Shall we let God be the judge of that?
Oh, okay then. David!
Okay, so here we have David. He's a bit of a late entry. He's young. I haven't got much information. He looks after some sheep. He keeps himself to himself. And that's it.
I just don't think he's ready to be king.
Yes, he is the one. The Lord has chosen to be king over Israel.
There must be some mistake. I mean, look at him. He's just a boy.
God doesn't look at what's on the outside. He looks at what's at the heart. That's what matters. He will be anointed king over Israel.
Search for a king.
So I love this story, and there's one really important line that I hope you heard Samuel say, and that is that God looks at the heart. He doesn't look at what we look at on the outside. We want to look beautiful, we want to be clever, which I know is on the inside, but it's kind of about who we are, isn't it? We want to be the best at everything, but actually God looks at the heart. The heart is what's more important, what's on the inside that counts the most. So I wonder, what is your heart like? Is it kind? Is it generous? Is it loving? Is it forgiving? We talked about forgiveness last week, didn't we? We talked about Zacchaeus and the fact that actually nobody really liked him. And they were so surprised when Jesus went to his house. Well, are we like that? Do we point the finger? Or are we willing to forgive and see somebody change and someone have that second chance? Well, in our story, David wasn't even brought to Samuel by his dad. He'd just been left in the field. But God knew that it didn't matter what all of his brothers looked like on the outside. They could have been the strongest or the cleverest, or they were the best at everything. But actually their heart wasn't right. And the Israelites, they just had this really great king who looked the part. His name was Saul. He looked like he should have been the best king, but actually his heart wasn't for God, and it wasn't even for the people. He just cared about himself. And you see, God, when he chose David, knew that David had a really good heart. He had been out in the field serving happily his dad, looking after those sheep. And in the field, he sang praises to God, he worshipped God, and he listened to God. And that didn't change when he became king. His heart stayed the same. He put God first and he put others first. He genuinely loved people. And that's what made him a really good king. So my challenge for you this week is to check, what is your heart like? Is it kind? Is it generous? Is it loving? Is it forgiving? What's most important? What could you change this week to make your heart a bit better? So we're going to pray, and you can have a think about that as we pray today. So God, thank you that it isn't about what we look like. It's not about what we're good at, but actually it's about what's on the inside. I pray that you would help us to be kind and generous and loving, to be patient and gentle, and all the things that make us a good person on the inside. And I thank you that just like with David, you are there to help us, and that we can choose to have a good heart today. Everyone said, Amen. Fantastic. See you next week.